Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director and Head Containment Specialist here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as we have done for the past 8 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 40 minutes. It's a short coffee break today, breakfast smoothie in hand. But before we begin the standard Q&A, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. Starting at the top. Be Librarian. Congratulations on being today's #1 most punctual member of the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Site 60, Philip November, Bombus ADHD, Game 1 Peeps, XL Official Games, Light Steve, Haunted Researcher, Senior Researcher Alex, The Foundation P3P, Silent Follower, Amber, Just Pit, Cyrus the Weirdo. Everyone whomst I have just named, thank you for being punctual to today's Containment Hazard Assessment Team meeting, and thank you for being members of Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. You as well, Aoki. Made it just under the wire. Also, SCP-049, Jaden, Paul, SCP-8531, and Kingston Privet. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you. Now, today's stream subject is a seemingly simple question, which is, would you prefer there to be an SCP television show or an SCP movie? Now, this is a conversation topic spurred on constantly in our community because we all want it. We all want the big projects. That's what we're here for at Site 42. That's what Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed Signal Boosters, is here about. But today, the reason I bring it up is because our friends at Keter Labs on YouTube, the creators of SCP, The Containment Breach, the movie, the short film, which is their 12-minute pitch for what a feature film would look like. They have released a video on their channel yesterday called Is an SCP TV Series Even Possible? And it's a good video. You should check it out. The thing I appreciate about Keter Labs is where I am a theater person and YouTuber who's done a little bit of film, they are much deeper in the film industry than I. So I'm learning from them as they discuss their budgets, as they discuss their behind the scenes. It is a nice trade of influence and knowledge that is required for group projects to get off the ground. So it's nice to have some newcomers come in swinging. And you should watch their video, Is an SCP TV Series Even Possible? By Keter Labs here on YouTube. after this coffee break. Get yourself acquainted with the arguments involved. But one thing they talk about that's very important is what's going to happen with the Creative Commons in any situation regarding SCP as a show. And he runs down a budget of a television series, an 8-episode series, something like $32 million, because that's what it takes to make a prestige television series, even a cheap one, because you're looking at several $1,000,000 per episode. So $32 million for a series. That's expensive, but it makes sense. And then you're looking at the idea that the streamers, once they produce this show, they're going to want to recoup their investment. They're going to want merch sales. They're going to want streaming rights. And because of the Creative Commons, they won't have them. Reuse and remix are part of the Creative Commons with attribution. So all of the movies and TV shows that get made regardless will be bogarted by other streaming services who can just do that for funsies. So the question is, what benefit does anyone have for funding this if they're trying to recoup an investment? You got to be funding it for the love of the game, which, believe me, that's what I'm hoping for. The only reason I want to recoup investment is to put it into more stuff. Then we can keep making more stuff. I'm getting ahead of myself. But they have a very good argument that I'd like to piggyback off of, which is one of the main ways you're going to be able to recoup that investment in a way that can't be bogarted by other groups is by doing a feature film release in theaters. A theatrical release, an in-person event, something where you're seeing it with other people, something where it's an experience that can't just be re-uploaded. That's stronger stuff. There's community there. There's a group dynamic. There's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that can't exactly be replicated. Go watch the rest of it. I'm not going to say more and spoil their video. I want you to watch their video. But I think these are good points involved. And also, I, myself, have another vibe, which is a lot of people say the same thing that Keter Labs opens their argument with there, which is a lot of fans believe there's too much SCP content to do a feature film. And that's why you have to do a TV series. But here's my thing. No, you don't. TV episodic storytelling and film have very different strengths when it comes to storytelling. What I'm looking for in a TV series is to get to hang out with the same characters over time. Even in an anthology series, you're reusing your cast, so you get the same gang. And you're watching these people do their thing. They're going through a longer story. There's filler episodes that let you just have time to breathe in between big events. But the thing about the big events in a television series is, can they really get as big as the movies? Because when you switch to thinking about SCP as a TV series, you think about SCP as a TV series, you're getting Eureka, which is a science fiction television series about researchers in a secret town doing crazy advanced anomalous science. That's a great serialized television show with a cast of characters that go through weekly adventures. And even at their grandest world-ending scale, it's still pretty low-key by comparison to some apocalyptic features. You watch Warehouse 13. Warehouse 13 is agents out in the field uncovering anomalies. And episode to episode, it's a lot of the grunt work, the small anomaly pickups. Yeah, there's danger. Yeah, there's drama. But the scale is reduced because we're doing shorter episodes, shorter things. When we go to the movies, and now we compare SCP-like movies, what do we get? Well, first of all, Cabin in the Woods, Apollyon event, whole world ended, pretty damn good lead up, one event, one dramatic thing in deep. Not a bunch of little stories spread out, lightly covered, a dusting of lore. We get one story and we hammer it. Men in Black, another agency, just like the Cabin in the Woods team, just like the SCP. Men in Black, at least for the first two movies, the first one, Grand Slam, alien invasion, gonna blow up the world, here we go. Second movie, I don't actually remember it that well. And I didn't see any of the other ones because they did not look good. But the concept is still there. You're looking at vaster but deeper stories. Somehow you get grander scale and more intensive. Whereas a television series, you're doing a lighter dusting of a story. Imagine the difference between a television episode about SCP-106, the old man, Radical Larry himself. Imagine 45 minutes of hunting the old man through a house, through a town, it's murdering people, and you're dealing with an episode of Supernatural, basically. You're dealing with the hunters, the agents, they find it, they kill it or contain it, done. But now think of the SCP-106 movie. That's alien. That is a haunted setting, locked in, several people with a monster that is hunting them. That is a horror movie right there. And so do we want a horror movie TV show, or do we want a horror movie? And I'm not saying one's better than the other, trust me. I want both. I want them all. But I'm just warning you, don't just skate by and, oh, there's too much stuff, a television series. Because let's think of it like this. When Day Breaks the movie, that is a big Apollyon event, very grand. But honestly, what's there to say about the sun turned everyone into flesh in one movie? But, as in the Keter Labs video about an SCP TV series, and again, I'm plugging their video because I want you to go watch it. Tell them Dr. Sherman sent you. What about the grand apocalypse of When Day Breaks? But that's just the backstory for the human story of the characters. You're making an SCP series that's basically The Last of Us. You're hunting through the underground tunnels of a city. You are wearing your super protective clothing with special goggles that let no sunlight in so you can travel in the day, but just a little scratch to your clothes, a slash from an errant monster, and you are melty goo. And so you're doing a lot. I think you get what I'm getting at. So, yes, what I'm saying here is I want both. Don't discount the movies, though. The movies have something different from the television series. And of course, Cool Man Fight, we can do TV series with movie events. That'd be cool. You have, we start to get the Marvel formula there. And we have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. bleeding into the Avengers. That kind of thing. I also like it. All right. Let me get to the donations and then take it to the Q&A. And one more reminder, I better see some Dr. Sherman sent me's under that Keter Labs video. I will be checking. I will give glory to those who I see succeed. Those who not, they have not. Hey, criminal. There's a cat doing crimes. Just be aware, walking around the site. There are criminal cats walking around. Thieves. Vandals. Philip November, thank you for your first and second donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. I got my marshmallow flower seeds this week. Now I can make my own peep peep. I'm very worried about what that means. Terrified, even. Isn't Fargo canon to Eureka, or am I confused? Fargo is the name of a character in Eureka. But no, Warehouse 13 is canon to Eureka. And Fargo is a character in Eureka. Coman Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Get yourself a Chicka Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can we cover Shy Guy and Rose Gold? Are you talking about the lovely Dr. Val Christmas tree Medusa embossed SCP-049? Because, yes, approved. Rose Gold that bitch up. Wolvesies, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself A nice, tall, cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, good to see you. How are you? I'm a little tired today. I'm a little scratchy of throat, but I don't think I'm getting sick. I think I'm just working too hard. I know, shocker. But we die in the dark, they live in the light, etc., etc. We do our best. Philip November, thank you for donating again. Wait, when was Warehouse 13 canonized in Eureka? I am 90% sure that there is a crossover episode. Literally, the characters from one show come over to the other. But now that you've asked, I'm actually worried if it was the wrong show. And so now I'm trying to think what show it was, and if it was Warehouse 13. And now I'm going to look it up because now I am terrified. Eureka crossover episodes. Douglas Fargo cameos in the Warehouse 13 episode 13-1, and Claudia Donovan cameos in the Eureka episode Crossing Over. So yes, I was correct. I am never wrong. Never tell anyone I was wrong, nor that I doubted myself. I didn't doubt myself because I'm never wrong. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, no, I was confused. Fargo showed up in Warehouse 13. That's what I was thinking. Okay, cool. Yes, that they did a joint crossover. One crossover each. Well, how... Just Alice, creator of the SCP animated series Anomaly here on YouTube. If you're not familiar with Just Alice's work, you should check it out. Dr. Sherman, quick little update. Your voice acting for the cold open was so incredible I had to learn new animation techniques for it. I will accept this compliment awkwardly. Thank you. I don't know how incredible I did, but if you like it, I'm glad to hear it. I hope that when the episode comes out, everyone enjoys it. I'm very curious as to what animation technique you had to learn to work with it. These are things I am interested in finding out in the future. Well, thank you for that very warm compliment. Intern Spongy Denton. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Mr. Present, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice handful of marshmallows on your way past the commissary. A movie fan base takes time to develop normally. Different series, and like you said, SCP series, a mix of Supernatural and Fringe series. With Warehouse 13, what's not to love? What's not to love? We can do it all. And the thing about the SCP verse is it's so vast, there is no canon. Crossovers abound. Once we get these things up and running, once we get Dark Math Films, creators of SCP Academy, once we get Keter Labs, the SCP Containment Branch movie, once we get Andrea Joshua as Nikar, all the way from Italy, once we get all of these filmmakers up and running, you know they're going to make their own series and films. You know they're going to cross over with each other and team up like Voltron to make bigger things. And then they'll run off and do their little projects, and then they'll come in and do the super thing. And so we are building something here. We just need to keep hitting our head against the wall. We are the meme of keep digging until you find the diamonds. Never give up. Never give in. Damn it. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. What rose gold covers Snyder's Snakes and Spiders? Well, will it stop them from attacking people? Because if the Snyders, the Snakes, and the Spiders will be pacified by being rose goldified, then I'm on board. Which SCP is safest? Well, here's the thing. You got to get creative because any SCP that you think is safe could be very dangerous in the wrong situation. Consider this, the procrastination rock. The procrastination rock. Everyone knows this. It's one of the most popular joke SCPs on the site. And it's a rock that makes you procrastinate. The article is the shortest article on the site. Now, that is seemingly safe. I mean, unless there was a containment breach and you were gonna escape, but you just procrastinated and then you died. But maybe the monster was gonna attack you, then it procrastinated, therefore you were safe. Oh, it could go either way, you never know. And, furthermore, there is a canon tale for the procrastination rock on the wiki, and that canon tale had the Chaos Insurgency, I believe, find the procrastination stone and duplicate it, and then grind it into sand, grind all the copies into sand, and infect the water supplies around the world so that everybody just procrastinated doing anything that would get them to live. And so everyone died. New fear unlocked. So yes, my answer is none of them are safe, and that's why we contain them all. Intern Colbrink. Yes, the only good YouTube short stream. Welcome to the Foundation, my friend. We are here to secure, contain, and protect your feed from the AI slop and other brain rots. Just good old-fashioned, anomalous containment. Philip November, thank you for donating again to ask, what does it take to replace an O5 member? So, first of all, I'm going to correct you here in your typing. It is not 05. The O is a letter O for overseer. You got to get that straight. There's a lot of situations where you don't want to deal with a 05. You want to deal with an overseer, an O5, just for future reference. Secondarily, there's a vetting process for every overseer, and due to their fortification with the Fountain of Youth, SCP-006, they do live incredibly long lives. So the question becomes just how long until they finally decide to retire. And then, of course, you're looking for being the top rung, the best of the best of the best, of an organization that only hires the best of the best of the best. So there are some stringent requirements. And if you look in certain classified nooks of the SCP database, you will find tales from other multiversal canons where overseers have been replaced in one capacity or another, and why and how. So I would direct you to investigating that a little bit. Philip November, also thank you for gifting 10 promotions to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. Everybody in the chat who just received a membership from Philip November, make sure to thank them for their generosity, as we all thank you for your generosity in helping to build the ranks of green names so we can finally win the battle against the white names. Thank you again, Philip. What is your favorite SCP? Intern Codacia, or Codeka. I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's a bit of a tradition about these parts. It's part of the outro. So if you can wait about 19 minutes, we'll be ending stream and that'll happen. Or you can cheat by going to yesterday's stream and we'll look at the end because I say it there at the outro. Or you could just donate and I'll read it early. That's you got options. You got options. How do y'all contain SCP-096? Intern Bob, look at the database entry on SCP Wiki. It's right there. The whole thing. It is in the SCP database. There are some questions you don't have to ask because they are written down. Simple question. Go figure it out. I mean, it's not particularly complex. It's in a box. We just have trouble if it gets out, and then we put a bag on it and put it back in its box. It's fine. Double check this here. Good. Dr. Sherman, do you think there are any more SCP-131 out in the wild? Intern Diamonds, I would not be we're not sure. We don't have any logs if there are any more iPods running around. I mean, they had to come from somewhere, right? If I head to the database, subjects dropped during an incident, found in a cornfield outside redacted in the year 19 redacted, transported to Site 19, and data expunged. Why would you expunge the data of how they were transported? They were probably transported in a car, for God's sake. Speaking to SCP Uber Driver Jesus, SCP-029-J, as the god I'm invoking there, because obviously it was a car of some sort. Maybe a chopper? I don't know. Jeez. They really used to just redact and expunge the most random data back in the day. There's no reason to expunge the transport that we use to transport them to site. How conducive to current popular and political events. If you know, you know. So yes, they were found in a cornfield. We have no idea how they got there. And we don't know if there are any more of them. I would not be shocked if they existed somewhere, because just having 2 of them, that's a bit weird. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, are there times you'll send a file containing a picture of a lovely mountainside and a hiker to someone of interest? I have broken no protocols. I have done nothing wrong. I plead the 5th. It was not I. You have no evidence. Nothing happened. I didn't know that while reading SCP-8980's story that I could get this angry at Dr. Christopher Burns. Oh, I warned you. I warned you that all my homies hate Dr. Christopher Burns. If Dr. Christopher Burns has one hater, it's because the world's population has been dropped down to one person who is me or any other person, because all of them hate Dr. Christopher Burns. Fuck that guy. SCP-8980, very rough read, I always warn you, because ouch. Yes, Charlemagne is around here making a racket. You are all correct. You heard Charlemagne, the office cat. Charlemagne, however, has not come within range of visitation, so we'll have to see if we get lucky. How did we contain SCP-666? Dr. Maynard, again, that is in the documentation on the SCP database. Asking about Conprox is kind of a really silly question to ask in these chats, I'm not going to lie. Because our entire fandom is documents about containing them. So all the Conprox are either there, or we tell you why it can't be contained. Plus, it is just a yurt. So they're not exactly difficult to contain. Just keep people away from the yurt. How many historical figures are in containment? Intern Owens? Too many. Too many. So many. I mean, just the amount of Greek gods we have in containment, I mean, they're more mythological, but still historical, is mind-boggling. Desk? The only reason I don't like your researcher Talaran as a reincarnation of Christopher Burns' idea is because then I would be very sad for James Talleyrand's boyfriend, Draven Kondraki. And Draven's a nice kid, so I don't want Draven to be sad. Hold on one moment here. Boy. If you want to be famous, you come into the box and you say hello by your face. I'm not saying hello on your behalf. You want to say hello, you say hello. This is the time. He's perfectly capable of speaking of himself, and yet he yells and yells. There you go. Are you happy? You said hello. Everybody says hello back. My chat is now spamming, but they are allowed to because there's a cat. That is always allowed when cats are related. So, this is Charlemagne. He is very vocal and a criminal. Run away. Do more crimes. Don't do more crimes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am allergic to cats. I need to go take my allergy pill now. But I did this for you. I did this for you. Dr. Chair, entertain them. Of course he said hello to Dr. Chair. They are friends. Okay. We are 10 minutes remaining in stream. So let's get these last questions in, people. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I love rewatching the battle between Kane and the damn lizard. You know, I don't actually remember that battle. Where are you watching this? I would like to see this footage. Dr. Sherman, what's your least favorite SCP? Intern Silly. From a writing perspective, I don't like saying I have a least favorite piece of art. It doesn't sound kosher to me. It sounds rather downtrodden. I mean, we are an arts community and people put in effort in their works on the wiki, and as long as they survive the vote, they must have had some quality for a certain amount of people who enjoyed them. And even if it's not my particular flavor of writing, I can still see that I can still see the objective quality despite the fact it's not my flavor. And in fact, I would feel better if a lot more of the people of the world realize that something can be good, but not in a way they enjoy, and therefore that doesn't make it bad. So that would make a lot of the world a peaceful place, more like, I think. That being said, SCP-4521 has not screamed nearly enough, so I'm still putting that low on my ranking. That tree will scream again in every multiverse. It will happen in new and creative ways. And furthermore, SCP-729-J is the worst fucking thing we contain. By far, the worst thing we contain. Is Charlemagne anomalous? I am not exactly sure. It might be another Schrodinger's anomaly situation, which is more appropriate on Charlemagne's behalf, being a cat. That's just on brand, so to speak. Please stop swearing. Intern Narcitic. The SCP Foundation community is an adult community with extreme gore, violence, and sexuality. So you should be prepared for some swear words as well. Philip November, thank you for donating again. What would you do if I replace your pillow with 7 9 while I sleep? Do you want to die? Do you want to die? Dr. Sherman, how often do you work with production companies to create or produce SCP films or shows? Intern Jobo. I have meetings with different gaming groups, filmmakers. I would say once or twice a month on average. End of year, I've had meetings in December with 3 to 5 different groups. There's a lot going on at the end of year, I guess. But it's usually in a consultory, telling them about the SCP lore, how to deal with the Creative Commons, introducing them to the community's more insular jokes and trends. That way they don't step on any landmines because they're just getting into it. And so I've talked to a fair amount of people. I have recurring meetings with some groups, and we try to help each other's projects. So little by little, we're doing our part. Worst thing would people coming in to try and trademark SCP if they were making a movie about it. Well, yes, after the whole Russian Federation trademark scandal back in the day, we're a bit touchy about that too. And the trick of it is, you can't unrelease something from the Creative Commons. So let's put it like this. There is no Anti-Memetics Division. Is an SCP series of stories that was made into a book. And that story, There Is No Anti-Memetics Division, is Creative Commons released. You can reuse it, you can sell it, you can remix it and use it for your own properties, as long as you credit the original source. That's the Creative Commons way. But when Quantum was approached by an actual book deal having company to make There Is No Anti-Memetics Division into a book, they required Quantum to strip out all of the SCP lore and rewrite it so it became not Creative Commons. Because that is a legal thing to do. Make it 10% different, and now There Is No Anti-Memetics Division is not a Creative Commons story anymore. That doesn't change the fact that the original is Creative Commons. Because once you release something Creative Commons, there's no takesy-backsies. So, There Is No Anti-Memetics Division, the SCP edition, is still Creative Commons released. And you can still do what you want with that. But the new version, that is a proper copyrighted, rights reserved situation. So it's important to keep an eye on that, because even if someone wanted to make an SCP the game Control, it's basically SCP, but it's far enough off. Oh no, the eyes, the cat fur. This is what I did for you! This is what I did for you! Oh no. As I was saying, where was I? What was I as I was saying? Control. It's not an SCP game, but it's based on SCP, but because they didn't use SCP, it is fully copyrightable and all rights reservable, and they're doing their thing. So that's the moral here, is anyone who wants to make a AAA SCP thing, they're going to just make their own. That way they don't have to share it. Creative Commons. It's a beautiful thing. It's how we've grown so far. It's also very restricting to the more capitalist among us. But the trade-off is they don't get the name recognition. They don't get the, oh, this is SCP. And so they're losing out on that. But how big a deal is that versus the money? So we're going back and forth. Long story short, too late. You can't uncreative the commons, as intern Gonzalez just said. And yes, they can either make an SCP thing, or they can make their off-brand thing. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, has anyone tried expanding 999, or is it locked? I remember SCP-999 is supposed to be the ultimate savior. So, the SCP-999 article is not collaborative. It is written by one person, which means no one else is allowed to edit it. The wiki has collaborative pages, and it has non-collaborative pages. So the user, Professor Snyder, they wrote SCP-999, and they are the only ones who can edit that document. But you can write your own tale on the wiki and reinterpret SCP-999 any way you want. For instance, the tale, New Job, posits exactly that. That SCP-999 is the ultimate savior, the final son of the Scarlet King, and the one who will defeat it through its pure, happy, tickling stuff. So, while not on the official SCP-999 document as canon, it is wiki canon in another way on a tale. That is how one would have to adjust SCP-999 because it is not a collaborative article. And finally, if you go into the SCP series page, where they list every SCP by name and number, and you go to the Tales edition, then you can see every tale written about the SCPs along the way. And if I go all the way to the bottom, 999, 999 has Sudden Thoughts, New Job, Asset Florida, Snuggle, Cuddle, and Protect the Mean Dragon, a special holiday message from SCP-999, and Ignota's SCP-999 pixel fan art. Now, listen, I know we're ending stream, but I gotta look at a holiday message from 999. Locked up in containment, no trouble around. SCP-999 makes a sweet, soft sound. The doctors were listening and left wondering why. He was singing a Christmas lullaby. 682 is growling. He won't go away. But little 999 can keep him at bay. One little orange blob can help us to stay safe. Can make all the ketters sit down and behave. To all the Foundation's hard-working crew, to all the anomalies and dead gods, too, to all of the world in this joyous time, please have a Merry Christmas from 999. Okay. Well, that was a nice little ending to our stream. I think we did a good job. And as we are at the end of stream officially, of course, it's time for me to tell you my favorite SCPs. And of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. Narcissism in the extreme. But if you did want to read the SCPs I wrote, you could go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs that I personally wrote, as well as some that I contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on that page, one tab over from the SCPs I wrote, there are some links. Some links a lot of people are very interested in finding, but they just don't look hard enough. They're not strong enough, brave enough, clever enough. But that's not you guys. You guys will find those links. I know you are strong enough and brave enough and clever enough. And while you're at those links, You can become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You could do a Ko-Fi donation or a YouTube Super Chat to give to us one donation at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help Site42 keep the lights on, so we appreciate you greatly for that. And if you are not a moneyed individual, if you are in fact part of the broke gang, well, trust me, you are still important to the Site42 cause. We need the money people, and we need the engagement people. The people who do that like, share, subscribe, and comment mambo on our streams and videos, as well as the streams and videos of other SCP content creators we support. Don't think I forgot that you need to watch the Keter Labs video and comment that I sent you, because Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, they support SCP projects like Site42 as well as others. We get those projects enough money, enough attention, they get enough support, and we are able to make bigger and better SCP projects. Best CP movies, TV shows, they are on the table in our lifetime, but only if we fight. And so thank you, Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed Signal Boosters, for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning, the last one, it's a rough read. Site42 staff. This has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site42 of the SCP Foundation. This has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast for Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Bells will be ringing, the sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, I have no friends to wish me greetings once again. Choirs will be singing Silent Night, Christmas carols by candlelight. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home for Christmas. If not for Christmas, by New Year's night. The credit song is Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles. Be safe, be well, secure, contain, protect.